Shien, today, as we enter into this sacred time of reflection, let us begin by quieting our minds, allowing the noise of the world to fade into a gentle hush, like a sine wave that oscillates smoothly between peaks and valleys. Let our breath find a natural rhythm, aligning with the harmonic order of creation. Let us embrace the stillness as a sacred gift, a space where the voice of God can be heard in the silent rhythm of our breath, much like the ordered symmetry found in mathematical sequences. With each inhale, let us welcome peace, expanding like the exponential function of grace. With each exhale, let us release all burdens into His loving hands, trusting that just as integrals some infinite small changes into a complete whole, so too does God transform our worries into His perfect plan. Take a deep breath. Feel the air flow in and out, steady as the rhythm of the universe, constant as the laws of math that govern our created world. Each breath follows a predictable pattern, much like a sine wave, rising and falling in perfect periodic motion. Like the symmetry of a fractal, unfolding infinitely yet always reflecting its core structure. God's love remains unchanging, infinite, and ever-present. Consider the elegance of the Mandelbrot set, where even the smallest detail reveals the same intricate beauty as the whole, just as every moment of grace echoes the boundless love of God. The Fibonacci sequence can be found in the very act of respiration, where each breath supports the next, building upon previous rhythms in divine order. God's presence, like an infinite series, converges toward completeness, never ending, always sustaining. Consider the elegance of the Fibonacci sequence, where each number builds upon the previous ones, just as every moment of grace builds upon the last, leading us ever closer to the divine. As we ponder on all the mysteries, let us remember that just as numbers never cease, neither does God's love for you, an infinite series tending toward eternity, never diminishing, always converging toward His perfect plan. From the beginning, God has brought order into the world of our existence. The universe projects God's glory with its perfect calculations, the movement of the planets, the symmetry of a flower, and the patterns in a seashell, all revealing perfect geometry. Even the human body, with its complex structures, is fearfully and wonderfully made. You, too, are part of this perfect design. Though illness has touched your body, God's hand has never left you. He is there with you when you feel sad and joyful, when you experience pain or have many questions running through your mind. You once taught others about numbers, formulas, and absolute truths that do not change, like the immutability of mathematical constants, for example, the pi or the golden ratio. God's truth remains constant, an unshakable foundation upon which all else is built. The precision of mathematical laws, from the Pythagorean theory to Euler's identity, reflects the perfect order of His divine wisdom. As numbers stretch infinitely, God's love, mercy, and presence extend beyond all measure, never diminishing or faltering. Just as the sum of an infinite geometric series converges toward a finite limit, God's grace draws us ever closer, infinitely abundant, yet always within reach. Even when our bodies feel frail, the spirit within us is alive, ever expanding toward God's infinite love. Just as pi extends infinitely without repeating, God's love surpasses all understanding, stretching beyond what we can calculate or comprehend. We often ask, why must we suffer? Why do our bodies, which once carried us so swiftly, now slow down? Why does pain visit us? These questions are as old as time and as complex as the greatest unsolved equations. Our Creator has the answers to all the questions that we cannot answer or solve, at least not yet. But He wants us to trust Him, so even if we cannot get the answers that we are looking for at this moment, We can always be open and accept His love expressed in the smile of a mother, in the gentle touch of another person, or in the care that others provide to us. In suffering, we encounter a profound paradox. Weakness brings forth strength, and surrender leads to victory. Just as in math, where negative numbers contribute to the whole, our suffering has a place in God's plan. Yes, it is a mystery, a great mystery, but like in math, the hard equations take time to solve. And so does this mystery, which may take a long time to be understood by humans. Mathematics is the language of the universe, embedded in everything we see. The golden ratio appears throughout creation, revealing a divine fingerprint woven into all things. Just as mathematicians study its complexity and the beauty that complexity presents, we too can seek out the beauty of God's presence in every detail of our lives. The constancy of Euler's number reminds us that exponential growth mirrors the boundless nature of grace, ever increasing, surpassing all limits we impose. The equations of physics, the laws of motion, and even the simplest symmetry of a snowflake all testify to an ordered universe created with love and precision. Newton's laws govern movement with unyielding accuracy, just as God's providence guides our lives with perfect order. The Fibonacci sequence appears in sunflowers and galaxies alike, mirroring the intentional patterns in which the entire creation is immersed in. The golden ratio, found in everything from a shell to human face, speaks to divine craftsmanship. Just as complex differential equations model the forces of nature, so too does God's wisdom account for every force in our lives. You are part of that grand design, a unique variable in an equation spanning eternity, fearfully and wonderfully made, not forgotten in the vastness, but deeply known and infinitely cherished. Imagine an infinite set where every element has its unique place, but is still part of the whole. Just as infinity exists in many forms, so too does God's infinite nature touch every aspect of existence. Whether prime numbers standing alone yet integral to larger calculations, or the way an asymptote approaches, but never quite reaches its line, so too does our longing for our Creator draw us closer, always approaching, never reaching full understanding, yet forever moving toward Him. Just as a function can map inputs to a perfect output with divine precision, God maps our lives according to His perfect will. Though we may not always see the pattern immediately, in time, the beauty of His design unfolds. Now, reflect on this simple equation. If a sequence follows the pattern 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, what is the next number? The answer, of course, is 21, because the pattern follows the Fibonacci sequence, where each term is the sum of the two previous terms. This pattern, found in flowers, galaxies, and seashells, shows the deep mathematical structure of creation. In the same way, your life is a sequence built upon grace after grace, leading you toward a divine harmony beyond what can be seen. Faith, hope, and love, the three factors in our lives, form the perfect equation of eternal peace. Faith roots us in God's truth. Hope reminds us that healing, whether in this life or the next, is certain. Love is the greatest strength, binding all things together. Just as no equation is complete without every component, so too is life incomplete without love. You have loved your students and shared knowledge with them. You love your family, being their dear son. You have loved, and you still love, though perhaps some days it may be hard. That love is not forgotten. It is written in eternity, and God, who is the source of all love, now holds you tenderly. Like the unbreakable bonds in a mathematical set, where every element is uniquely placed yet intrinsically connected. Just as a function continuously maps inputs to precise outputs, so too does his love shape your life with intention and purpose. The infinite nature of prime numbers, stretching endlessly yet following a hidden order, mirrors the boundless depth of his love, immeasurable yet always present, like the convergence of an infinite series approaching a limit. His embrace draws you ever closer, guiding you toward the completeness of his eternal presence. Take another deep breath. Let go of fear, of worry, of what you cannot control, just as a chaotic system eventually finds stability within the governing laws of nature. Consider the principle of entropy. While disorder may increase, there is always an underlying order sustaining the universe. Like an optimization algorithm seeking the best possible solution, your soul is constantly refining itself through faith, approaching divine perfection. Let each breath be a harmonic oscillation, resonating with the frequencies of creation, a steady wave moving toward balance. Trust that even in uncertainty, just as probability distributions reveal hidden patterns, God's plan unfolds with precise calculation and infinite wisdom. Like a mathematician who trusts in the logic of an equation, trust in God's providence. His plan is greater than we can perceive. Let his presence be like an infinite series, ever approaching completeness, ever filling your soul with peace. Our Creator, you are the divine architect, the master mathematician, the one who orders all things in perfect harmony, like the elegant precision of Euler's equation, uniting the fundamental constants of the universe in a single, beautiful expression. In this moment, surround Shien with your peace, love, and hope, as a fractal expands infinitely while maintaining its intricate pattern, reflecting your boundless grace. Comfort him and let him know that his life has been integral to your great design. Much like each variable in a grand mathematical model contributes uniquely to the solution, let his heart be filled with the certainty that nothing is wasted, nothing is lost, and nothing is beyond your love. Just as no number in an infinite series is ever forgotten, each playing its role in the convergence toward divine completeness. Amen.